Hello everyone, a very pleasant day to you. President Bola Tinubu has departed Lagos for Europe in preparation for an official engagement in United Arab Emirates. Federal government inaugurates advisory committee on macronutrient deficiency, and Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Shaibu vows to intensify efforts to tackle emerging security threats. A very good day to you and welcome to Impact News Hour on Fastness News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Usoro. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has departed Lagos for Europe, continuing his end-of-year break and in preparation for an official engagement in United Arab Emirates. A statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu will proceed from Europe to Abu Dhabi to participate in the 2026 edition of Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, ADSW 2026, scheduled to hold early in January. The president was invited to the summit by Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the president of the United Arab Emirates. According to the statement, Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week is a week-long global platform that convenes leaders from government, business, and civil society to advance conversations and actions of sustainable development. The summit will provide a forum for mobilizing ideas, partnerships, and investments aimed at shaping the next phase of global sustainability efforts. Moving on, meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has promised to resolve the political feud between the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, SGF, George Akome, and Governor Hyacinth Alia of Benue State. President Tinubu, who made the promise in Makurdi at the wedding reception of Deborah and Samuel Akome, son of the SGF, described the SGF as the longest-serving public servant in Nigerians' contemporary history. The president, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, stated that Akome had paid his dues and there was no need for discord with the governor. President Tinubu said he has a moral obligation to wade in because what affects Benue will affect the entire North Central and Nigeria. The president added that Akome, as the leader of the North Central and Nigeria, has demonstrated leadership, accommodation, and a great deal of kindness. The federal government has inaugurated the National Advisory Committee on Macronutrient Deficiency and Control in Intensified Move to Tackle Macronutrient Deficiency in Nigeria. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, speaking at the 2025 National Micronutrients Conference in Abuja during the weekend, said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is determined to move from fragmented nutrition initiative to a synchronized, evidence-based national response that guarantees adequate nutrition for Nigerians, especially women, children, and vulnerable groups. Conference themed Strengthening Resilient Systems for Addressing Micronutrient Deficiencies in Nigeria brought together key stakeholders from health, agriculture, development partners, civil society, academic and subnational actors to chart a renewed pathway in addressing what Professor Pate described as a silent but devastating threat to human capital and national productivity. He warned that recent national surveys reveal persistent anemia, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, as well as unacceptable levels of child malnutrition across the country, saying the evidence will be into action. The minister stressing that the federal government is scaling up food fortification, dietary diversification, micronutrient supplementation, and strengthening the primary health care platform to reach undeserved communities. About 34 lawyers nominated for appointments as judges of the Federal High Court of Nigerian FHC has failed the integrity test for appointment as judicial officers in Nigeria and have been dropped from the race. The 34 legal practitioners are part of the 62 applicants nominated for the bench of the High Court, but were shown the way out owing to various petitions leveled against them during the integrity test. The integrity test is a part of the new guidelines approved by the National Judicial Council under Chief Justice of Nigeria (CJN) Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun to eliminate persons of doubtful characters from being appointed as judicial officers. The NJS revealed that only 28 nominees who received clean bill of health during the integrity test would now face the interview panel of the council, which has been slated for January 2026. So the two applicants passed computer-based test CBT examination conducted by the Federal High Court, consequent upon which their names were forwarded to FGSC. The Chief of Army Staff, COAS, Lieutenant General Wike Shaibu, has vowed that the Nigerian Army NA will intensify efforts to tackle emerging security threats while strengthening counterinsurgency operations across the country. General Shaibu disclosed this at the Daban Lema camp in Edu, local government area of Kwara State, during a youth-held luncheon with troops of the front lines. Speaking during the event, Shaibu, who was represented by the Commander Signals Corps, Major General Muhammad Abdullah, said the Army remained focused on consolidating gains already recorded in various operational theaters and upholding the honor and integrity of service. Officials said the camp was formerly a base of bandits before they were dislodged by the troops. Abdurazak, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Kayode Alabi, said success against terrorists, kidnappers, and other bad faith actors lay in unity and effective coordination. The General Officer commanding GOC-2 Division, Major General Nebiefe, thanked the COAS for the morale-boosting event. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, Wike, has dismissed the relevance of major political parties in Rivers State, insisting that the People's Democratic Party PDP and the All Progressive Congress APC do not exist in the state. Wike, who made the remarks during a meeting at the Kwara local government headquarters, where he was welcomed with chants of "No Wike, No Rivers State," commented on Governor Shea Makinde's recent statement, noting that he would address the matter further in a scheduled meeting. Details of the meeting will be brought to you in a subsequent bulletin. Away from that story, Nigerian's political landscape ahead of the 2027 general election is grinding for reshape as the Labour Party LP presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, is set to join the African Democratic Congress ADC before the year runs out. This was a former Vice President Atiku Abubakar rejected claims that he pulled out of the 2027 presidential contest for Obi, calling the reports false and misleading. Report says Atiku, who was a People's Democratic Party PDP candidate in 2023, stepped down for Obi, and the story also claimed that Atiku supported a one-term presidency for Obi in the interest of regional balance. Atiku's media advisor Paul Ibe dismissed the report outright, describing it as a fake news. Relatedly, the national leadership of the ADC said it was working assiduously not to disappoint Nigerians by repeating the failure of change which they brought in 2015. Spokesperson to Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, Olawale Rashid, has challenged the All Progressive Congress APC to test its claimed electoral strength at the polls rather than pursue plots to undermine the Accord Party AP ahead of the 2026 governorship election. Reacting to a call by the lawmaker representing Obokun Oreadi Federal Constituency, Wole Oke, for the deregistration of the app, Rashid accused the lawmaker of engaging in unlawful advocacy to please the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola, who governed the state. He said the growing popularity of AP as a platform for Adeleke unsettled the APC, prompting calls for the party's deregistration instead of an open political contest. The governor's aide dismissed such moves as undemocratic, insisting that a party confident of victory should be willing to face voters directly. We now move on to the foreign scene. At least 13 people died and almost 100 were injured after a train derailed in Mexico's southwestern Oaxaca region. The Mexican Navy said the train, which was traveling between the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean, was carrying 241 passengers and 9 crew members. A total of 98 were injured, of whom 37 were being treated in hospital. The Navy also explained that the train derailed as it rounded a bend near the town of Nizanda, Mexico's Attorney General confirmed an investigation was underway. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said 5 of those injured were in serious condition. She said top-level officials, including the Secretary of the Navy, were traveling to the site of the crash. We now move on to sports. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle has explained why he brought on Moses Simon, Chidera Ejuke, and Chidozie Awezim late in Nigerians' 3-1 victory over Tunisia at the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Speaking to newsmen after the match, Chelle said his substitutions were based on tactics and how the game was going. According to him, Nigerian played with high intensity and pressure for most of the game, which made it difficult for the starting players to maintain that level to the full 90 minutes. With a win, Nigerian became the second team to qualify for the knockout stage of the tournament, joining Egypt, who earlier defeated South Africa 1-0. Nigerian defeated Tunisia in the second Group C match on Saturday to qualify for the knockout stage. That's all on the news this hour. I am Becky Osoro. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.